Have you been to 7 Front Street? If not, plan to visit this colorful tavern tonight. Mingle with exciting, interesting people from every corner of the globe. Meet Lil, the genial proprietress. Tonight is King's Night at 7 Front. Meet the famed author Kenneth Allen King, now compiling a book based on the thrilling real-life dramas that are played nightly against the colorful and mysterious backdrop of this great city's waterfront. Remember the name, 7 Front Street.
It was Lil's idea to call me the famed author Kenneth Allen King in a radio announcement, but if any lint from the cloak of fame should happen to fall on my blue serge reputation, you can chalk it up to my close association with this Front Street Scheherazade. You gotta meet Lil to appreciate it. When it comes to knowing the whys and the wherefores of her clientele, she makes the local constabulary look like a bunch of sideshow crystal gazers. Well, if you're all set, let's go inside 7 Front and be set to expect anything to happen, because it usually does.
Dimples, get out the clean glasses. Here comes the carriage trade. How you, Kenny?
Yeah, I got yourself a crowd here tonight, Lil.
I'll tell you. Since you've been writing up those stories about my customers, I'm getting sightseers.
You're getting fancy with those radio announcements of yours, but what happens if your thrilling drama played against the colorful and mysterious backdrop of this great city's waterfront turns out to be nothing more than somebody griping about your clam chowder?
When that happens, Junior, Venus will have grown arms and be hopping tables.
That I'd like to see.
Stop that music.
Uh-oh.
Better sit down, Kenny.
I said stop that music before I throw you all in the river. Go on, stop it.
So you were worrying about nothing happening, huh?
What's that all about?
Just take it easy and watch and listen.
Hey, you at the piano. Gonna stop playing, or do I have to pull it down over those tin ears of yours?
Take off, Galley. You're boiled.
Yeah?
Hello, Gilly. Play me a request.
Yeah, well, next time you'll do my request first. Hey!
Hey, that ain't a way to treat a guy, Galley. I was gonna stop.
Well, you didn't stop soon enough.
Yeah, just to take it easy, Moonlight. This is our job. You can play later.
No, I can't. I want to play now.
Come on.
The rest of you shut up, too, and stay shut up. Well, that's better. See that you stay that way till I'm through playing.
What's the story, Lil? And don't tell me there isn't one.
There's the story.
Who is he?
That's Moonlight Gillet. Here's a match.
Oh, thanks. Moonlight, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you must like Beethoven. Moonlight Sonata.
That's all he ever plays.
Why?
That's the story.
What's happening?
Moonlight's real name is Paul. Paul Gillet.
French?
Father was French. Mother an American. Paul's father was a lawyer and a hard-headed businessman. He wanted the kid to paddle in his footsteps, but it was no dice. Paul was just as hard-headed about wanting to be a pianist, so before he even had his first shave, he met up with some long-haired musician who gave him lessons.
Yeah.
The kid worked hard at his piano and finally got good enough to start attracting the carriage trade.
He plays like he might have been big time.
In a way, he was. But he lacked one thing. He didn't seem to be able to get any feeling into his playing.
He's got it now.
On that one tune, anyway. Which is the real story. And which started one night as he was finishing one of his concerts.
Horace, my boy, you were wonderful tonight. Magnificent. Every concert you are getting a little better.
Oh, don't try to cheer me up, Reinhardt. Instead of concerts, I ought to be playing in a saloon.
Oh, but the women ran wild over you. They're outside now like a pack of lady wolves waiting for a glimpse of you. Closer.
I want them to listen to me, not look at me. Poor Brahms probably turned over in his grave tonight. No feeling. I played every note that was written. Faultless technique. But something was missing. What is it?
You won't be angry if I tell you what I think?
I'd like to know.
Paulus, my boy, every great musician of the past, Beethoven, Tchaikovsky, Brahms, Mozart, all had one person in particular to play for. A person who inspired them to play with a feeling that comes not from the fingers, but from the heart. Now, but I don't think I have to add, Paulus. That person was usually a woman.
Oh, don't let anyone in, Reinhardt. Tell them to go away. All they do is ask a lot of foolish questions and want autographs. Sometimes I wish I didn't know how to write my own name.
I better go see Paulus. Maybe it ain't an autograph hunter.
I wonder if I could see Mr. Gallet just a minute. I'm not...
Mr. Gallet is indisposed. He cannot see anyone.
But just for a minute, I want to prove...
Well, I'm sorry, madam, but Monsieur Gallet
I
cannot...
just want to see his hand. I'm not an autograph hunter.
Well,
I won't
just
bother-
one moment, please. I will ask him.
All right.
Who is it?
A young woman, Paulus. She says she must see you.
What about?
She wouldn't say. She's very beautiful, Paulus.
So what?
All she said is she has a very special request to make of you.
Probably wants my autograph backwards.
She's very beautiful, Paulus.
Reinhardt, if you think you're going to talk me into... Oh, all right. If it'll please you, send her in.
All right, madam, you may come in. No, go away, please. Mr. Gallet is tired.
How do you do?
How do you do? Reinhardt told me you have a very special request to ask him.
I have.
Oh, what is it?
May I see your hands, Mr. Gallet?
Oh, what? My hand?
Yes, may I see them?
What in Himmel does she want to do? Read his palm yet?
Well, I certainly. Here, look at them.
Oh, how beautiful they are. They're so sensitive.
You're not a palmist, are you?
Oh, no, I've always been fond of hands, especially artistic, expressive hands like yours. I knew I was right and they were wrong.
They? Who's they? Wrong about what?
Well, during the intermission, I heard several people comment that your playing was technically perfect, but you didn't play from the heart.
They were right. You were wrong.
Oh, no, I'm not. Maybe you didn't play from the heart tonight, but you will. You can't do anything else with those hands. I'm being very impolite, babbling away like this. Thank you so much for your kindness, Mr. Gallet, and don't worry about playing from the heart. Those hands won't let you down.
Oh, thank you, miss. Well, I say, are you going? I mean, must you go?
Yes, I must.
Well, don't you want me to... Well, I mean, can't I autograph your program?
Oh, thank you so much, but I really must go. Good evening, and thank you again.
Hey, I mean, wait a minute.
Yes?
Oh, come back here. Close that door. I mean, please, close that door.
Yes?
Oh. Was that really all you wanted to do? I mean, just look at my hands.
Yes, that was all.
Reinhardt,
Yes, Paulus.
you won't have to wait for me. I'll take a cab to the hotel.
But, Paulus, I don't mind waiting for you. Besides...
Reinhardt, you won't have to wait for me.
Well... All right, Paulus, I go. And see that you play with more feeling at your next concert, no?
Well, Lil, I have to shut my eyes and just listen to the guy playing to believe he's the same one you're talking about.
Yeah.
And what happened with the little hand fancier?
And Paul fell like a ton of bricks for her.
Uh-huh.
He did manage to learn that her name was Louise Harper, but little else. And his playing began to get what it didn't have before. That old feeling.
It did, huh?
Moonlight's old music teacher, Reinhardt, was all happy about it, too, but being a cautious soul, he suggested to Paul that it might be a good idea. He might do a little checking before he got too serious. Paul thought it was all a big joke.
And then what do you think old Reinhardt said about you?
Oh, I'm a little afraid to guess.
Oh, well, he said, Paul, You know how he talks. Big double chin wobbling up and down like a turkey gobbler. And Paulus, he said, this woman you say you love, this lovely girl who want only to have a look at your hands, and who for the past month ain't had chance to look at anything else, do you know who she is? Well, I said, she's Louise Harper. And he said, I mean, what her background is, where she comes from. Why, might even be a married woman, Paulus.
And what did you say to that?
Well, I said, Reinhardt, she can be married to 1,000,000 men. I don't care what she is. All I know is that I love her very much. All I know is that when I play now, my fingers are no longer cold and mechanical, but warm and alive. Oh, Louise. I did need someone to play for. Someone to work for, to inspire me. No man can center his love and ambitions in a blurred mass of faces. There must be one. One face, one body, one heart. I do have those things now. Don't I, Louise? In you.
Yes. Yes, Paul, I want to be yours for always, but...
But what, Louise?
Paul, there's something I've got to tell you.
Well, don't look so serious about it.
Well, it's not just serious, Paul. In a way, it's tragic. Reinhardt was right about your knowing more about me, who and what I am.
Well, I said I didn't care, and I meant it.
But you've got to care, Paul. Heaven knows I was as hungry to be some man's inspiration as you were to be inspired, and I didn't care whether he dug ditches or played the piano.
Well, you got yourself a piano player. Or would you prefer a ditch digger?
Paul, I can't have either.
What are you trying to say?
I am a married woman, Paul.
I see.
Oh, darling, I know it was wrong not telling you right away the first night when you kissed me, but I couldn't, Paul. I was like a starving kid dumped in the middle of a royal banquet. I was like a gambler. I knew I was playing a losing game, but I couldn't get around to admitting I was licked.
You'll have to get a divorce, Louis.
I can't.
There's no such thing unless you don't want to.
I've tried before, Paul.
You mean you've admired other hands than mine?
Oh, please, Paul.
Well, if you don't love your husband, I'm sure there's some way to be free of him.
I don't love him, Paul. I'm married for money. My husband knows that. I know he doesn't love me.
Then he's got to give you a divorce.
He said he'd kill me before he'd let me have my freedom.
Well, you've got to, Louise. I know it's hard for you to believe that in such a short time you've come to mean so much to me,
I
but...
believe you, Paul, but he said he'd never even
Then do
considered
something
it.
about it. Don't let your husband frighten you. Get a lawyer. I'll get a lawyer for you. Start divorce proceedings. There won't be any killing. He's bluffing, that's all.
All right, Paul. I'll find out if he's bluffing, but don't you do anything about it yourself. Let me do it my way.
Hey, Lil.
Yeah, Dimples?
Pardon me for interrupting, but Cook says your chowder's ready for you to put the finishing touches to it.
Okay. Pardon me, Kenny. Gotta season the chowder. Be back in a jerk.
And leave me hanging by my thumbs to hear the end of Moonlight's story?
Go hang outside. Got enough mess in here as it is.
Say, Bub,
Yeah?
ain't you the writer guy who's getting stories from Lil for a book?
Yeah, that's right.
Did she tell you any tonight?
She's telling me one right now. That is, she had to stop for a minute to perform some sort of ritual over her clam chowder.
Sounds like Moonlight said it again.
She's telling me his story now.
I always thought the guy was nothing but an old-fashioned distilling stiff. The way he'd all of a sudden order all the customers to please close their potato traps while he played that tune. But when I gets wind of the whole story, I just clams up automatic when Moonlight goes into his act.
Well, just quick like, how, well, I mean, after Moonlight told this girl he was in love with to call her husband's bluff, get a divorce. What did she do?
Oh, now that'd just spoil the story for you. Let Lil finish it. And speaking of stories, Maybe I got a little business deal I could make with you.
All right. Here's some change. I gotta get back in.
I ain't looking for no handout, mister. I got a story for you.
Are you bored? Do you have that want to get away from it all feeling? Then why not get up and go as you are to 7 Front Street? If you hurry, there's still time to join the popular author Kenneth Allen King on his weekly visit to this famous waterfront night spot. If you like romance and adventure, highly seasoned with the unexpected, then start right now. Make a beeline for 7 Front Street. Big idea. Why don't you look where you're going? You and Anna forgive me for my clumsiness. My excitement at returning to 7 Front Street, I must have forgotten that other people exist. For a guy your size, that could be dangerous. You don't mind my asking, Lil isn't by any chance throwing a pre-Halloween shindig tonight, is he? Pre-Halloween? Oh, you refer to the Christian festival, the evening preceding All Hallows and All Saints Day, October 31st. And my dress, perfect for the occasion. You don't even need a match. In the Arabian desert, I could say the same about you. But you will excuse me now. I'm already late for my appointment. Again, I express my regret for having bumped into you. Oh, that's all right. I'm glad you did. Oh, are you going also into 7 Front? I don't think you could keep me up. I mean, yes, I also am going in. Hey, everybody, here he comes. Here comes the street. On the phone all afternoon to tell you about the sheep coming to town. Hey, he's got a story for your book that'll knock you right out of your chair. He's also got a frame that has the same effect. He bumped into me outside. Who is he, a fugitive from MGM Pictures? Sit down and sharpen your pencil. And better use your asbestos notepad. His story's a fire hazard. Peace be with thee. The same to you, CEO boy. Once again, Allah has granted me the privilege of another pilgrimage to your wonderful land and my beloved 7 Front Street. By the sacred star of the East, I hope that the past year has been as kind to you as it has to me. Come now, share my happiness with me. As we say in Arabia, the drinks are on me. When does he pitch his tent and the dancing girls come in? He's a handsome dog, ain't he? Seems illegal for one guy to have everything he's got. And that look in your eye, Lil, his story will get my book banned in Boston. No, nothing like that, Kevin. No? Try taking notes. Name? Ahmed Ben Youssef. Youssef is Arab for Joe. Right. Ahmed's father was a big-shot chief. In Arab, they call it sheikh. And he was loaded with what passed off for Arabian dough and enough power to keep it. When Ahmed came of age, he got the surprise of his life. For instead of taking over the tribe like was the custom, the old man decided that the boy should go to America to make a study of the more modern ways of living, of civilization. Now, Ahmed had his heart set on leading his father's desert tribe, but he was an obedient son, and off to America he went. Ahmed's first visit was to a big oil man who'd done business with the old chief, and who promised to look after the boy. Ahmed, do you have anything special in mind you'd like to learn about America? My beloved father, Allah protection, spoke of America as a country of 48 great tribes living in peace with each other. The small and weak with the large and powerful. Tribes?
We don't have any Arabs over here. Oh, tribes. You mean states? 48 states.
My father called them tribes. He wanted me to come here to learn their secrets, to make me better suited to succeeding as leader of the tribe of Arab.
But I don't quite get your father's idea. I mean, why he should want to improve on the perfect setup he's got. He's the law of the desert. Even the government's polite to him. The God well better be.
But my father knows why this is.
So does every other caravanserai and sheik from Damascus to Medina. He's got power. A fierce fighting tribe. He's big and not to be talked back to.
My father said so also is the tribe of Texas, very big. But is not feared by even such small tribe as the one from the island of Rhodes.
You mean the state of Rhode Island?
Allah, forgive me for my ignorance. I'm very stupid in your ways. I hope I will not embarrass you too much.
Oh, don't worry about that. It's liable to be the other way around. My daughter and her friends are quite excited about a real Arabian sheik staying at our house. They might embarrass you.
Before Ahmed knew what had hit him, he was a big man of the social set, with a heavy accent on the female end of it. And he made great progress in the study of the American way, but not of our government.
Come on, Ahmed. I'll give you another dancing lesson. We can't have you going back to Arabia without knowing how to cut a rug.
I'm very sorry, mademoiselle, but I have to promise.
I know. You promised Razor Braid and you'd meet her out on the terrace. I heard you.
But,
what do you think you'll learn about America from her that I can't teach you?
oh, but she is out to learn of Arabia from me.
Oh, I beg your pardon. That's one angle I didn't think of. Too safe a time?
I don't quite understand.
You will before you go back to Arabia. Salam alaikum, handsome.
Seems they're learning my ways more quickly than I theirs.
Oh, here you are, Ahmed. I was afraid you'd forgotten me.
Seems that my only consistent failure of memory is remembering my beloved father's purpose in sending me here to America.
But doesn't this come under the heading of learning always?
I don't think my father, the Sheikh of the Ben Ali, would approve of my teaching the women of Araby to be so soft and tempting. Allah has provided little space in the desert for gentle beauty, such as yours. Men are but mirrors of the land in which they were born. The desert is silent, ruthless, and sometimes treacherous.
I'd never believe that of you.
Another art the desert forces one to learn for self-preservation. Deception.
I don't think you're deceiving me, Ahmed.
If you will excuse me, I wish to speak to your father about purchasing a flying machine. My father instructed to add that to my list of accomplishments here in America.
If that's a sample of Arabian deception on it, it's far inferior to ours.
May Allah seal my lips forever if I speak an untruth.
It isn't necessary to call on Allah to do that, Ahmed. Not as long as I'm here.
Just how the story's going to end. Ahmed went for Braden's daughter and told the old man to get another boy to head up his tribe. Okay, Junior. You write it up that way in your book. And I'll give the real story to Sammy Kane of the time. Huh? Well, isn't that the payoff? No. Ahmed wasn't shooting the breeze about the desert being Texas. The only thing you forgot to tell Therese Braden was that what made it that way were people like his half-brother Nazir. And because of having a different mother, was only a few weeks younger than Ahmed. Oh. Nazir's mother brought him up believing he'd been robbed, and that anything he did to latch onto the Sheikh's title would get the nod of approval from everybody, including Allah himself. Nazir took his mama at her word. Hassan.
Yes, Master Nazir.
Have the headmen, the camel and horsemen, been attended to?
Those who refused gold accepted my Damascus blade in humble silence.
And my brother Ahmed's personal servant?
Khalil disappeared with the sun tonight. I've dispatched two of my swiftest riders to search for him.
No matter. Khalil is too ancient to be of much bother. You may wait here, Hassan. I'll not be long. And upon my return for your loyalty and help, I shall accord you the honor of being the first to greet me as the new sheikh of the powerful tribe of Asghar Ben Ali.
Salam alaikum.
Kerani bila ya Sheikh Babak Anadakanit.
By the Lord, thou seest me, my father, and I do enter, sir, under thy protection.
What? Oh, Nazir. What foul wind brings thee into my tent at such an hour?
The light of your lamp, sire.
Yes. Allah curse my eyelids for refusing to shut. What do you want?
Your amulet.
What?
Oh, for the phase of the full moon, your eyelids have refused to close because of your concern for Ahmed.
4 ships have docked at Medina, laden with everything but news from him.
Before you sent Ahmed to America to study the ways of its people, you told him that in the event Allah should call you in his absence, I would inherit your amulet to lead our tribe until he returned.
Nazir, you have been cursed by your mother with a treacherous heart. Do you think I would allow you to usurp Ahmed's rightful place and to defile the honor of my tribe? Besides, do I look as though I have been called by Allah?
No, my beloved father. But in a few moments, you shall.
Nazir, Master,
Hadan, you may announce to our tribesmen that Allah has called our venerated chief, Order bin Ali, to his eternal peace, and that I have assumed my rightful role as leader of our people.
Salam. Salam. Salam.
And one other thing, Hassan. Take this key to my father's treasures and dole out to each man in the royal guard 1 piece of gold, as well as the 6 skins of the finest wine.
But Nazir, Master, your dead father, and wine drinking?
Oh, I'm sure my father won't mind.
You don't think you know how the story ends, Kenny?
Well, you sort of threw me a curve with this Nazir character rubbing out his old man and taking home.
A couple more curves I'll throw you. If you'll hold base a few minutes while I give my clam chowder a look at.
I'll go outside for a few minutes. Well, I think Lil pulled my leg tonight. What?
Not about the shakes, he ain't.
Oh, it's you, huh?
Nice of you to be recollecting me, Mr. King. I know there ain't no use in me trying to interest you in my story tonight. When I tell you was lucky the jig blew in.
A good story, huh?
Of the rarer type, like mine.
Now, look, fella, you think I'd ever pay you $50 for a story without even knowing what it's about? You just ought to deny it.
Okay, Mr. King. I'm not overly eager to bare my soul for money. And if it was not essential, I would skip the half a yard.
But why is $50 essential?
That's the snapper to the story. Say, I see Lil coming back through the glass. You better go back.
Oh, thanks.
Not itching for the rest of the sheep story, are you, Kenny?
Now, quit stalling, Bill. What happened after Nazir throttled the old sheik and set himself up in Ahmed's place?
Well, as you can imagine, it was months before Ahmed learned that his father was dead. Meanwhile, Ahmed did buy an Army surplus plane and managed to learn to fly it fairly well. Considering the little time Therese Braden let him out of her sight.
Yeah.
Then one day, a weird-looking character came up to the Braden mansion, asked for Ahmed, and told him the story.
I do not believe a word you say. Lying filth comes from your mouth, eh? You are lying, aren't you? Tell me you are lying before I tell you apart. Take it easy, pal. What point would there be in me lying to you?
This old earhead come up to me on the docks, asked me to deliver a message to you. That your old man kicked the bucket a couple of months ago. That some flyway took over his job and was running your pop's joint right in the ground. He also said that you should stay where you were, not to come back, because it wasn't healthy. So promising to try to find you and tell you, he give me a couple of pieces of gold and this ring.
Couple of rings?
Yeah, that's the guy. Collie. Now, would you please unwind my arm?
I'm sorry. Allah bless you for your kindness. Here. Take this money.
You mean all of it?
I want the ring.
It ain't worth that much, pal. It's only a little gold band with a little Arab doodad on it.
To me, it's worth a kingdom. Salam alaikum.
Huh? Oh, same to you, pal. And many others.
Teresa,
Oh, Alice, you frightened me. I knew you'd come in if I started to play that song, but usually you're more gentle.
Teresa, I must return to Arabia immediately.
Why? What happened?
My father, Allah rest his soul, is dead. My half-brother Nazir has taken over the leadership of our tribe, and I've been warned by my faithful servant Khalil not to return.
Then why this?
And let a treacherous dog like Nazir usurp my rightful place? Crush every hope of my beloved father for a more peaceful, a more united country? Oh, for Christ's crawling soul. Teresa, you will go with me. As an Arabian sheikh, I have the authority to proclaim you my legal bride. Later, I will submit to a Christian marriage.
Are you serious?
I lift my eyes to Allah's heavens if I were otherwise. I say, please, take only what you need for the trip. You will buy clothes in Damascus or Paris later.
Ahmed, you're talking like an idiot. I'm not going anywhere with you. Certainly not as your wife.
You are already my wife. I have proclaimed it.
Oh, don't be stupid. You're not an Arabian.
Over a full moon ago, you avowed your love for me.
Of course I was fascinated by you. What woman wouldn't be? But you make it all sound so serious, as though it were a matter of life and death.
In the desert, that is exactly how man and woman look at love.
Will you try to get it through your head that we're not in the desert?
That geographical discrepancy I shall rectify.
If I were you. After all, we're only several thousand feet in the air, probably over the ocean.
I had to take you with me, Teresa. Please don't be afraid. No harm will come to you.
You're the one who should be afraid. It isn't enough that you're flying straight into the teeth of trouble with your brother Nazir, but...
Nazir is well versed in the act of treachery.
You're also guilty of a little thing called kidnapping, which carries the penalty of death in the U.S.
And the prospects of my future aren't very promising, are they?
Do you expect them to be otherwise?
The Arab has a saying that Allah stores the hope of man in the eyes of woman.
The only hope you'll find in my eyes is that you get everything you deserve.
I will. Have no fear. Allah will see to it.
Story made sense, but why did he suddenly go dime novel? Stick his neck out on an international scale by Shanghai and the oil man's daughter.
Well, why do you write books? Why does Einstein like arithmetic? Why do I run a joint like 7 Front Street? He just did it.
The guy must be a hound for trouble.
And he got plenty of it when he landed.
Now, you can relax. You have nothing to fear, for this is my land, my country, and my people. Just as soon as I've given Nazir to understand that his temporary leadership of my father's tribe is at end, we can both begin to test the reality of our love for each other. It was as real as it seemed in America. It will not vanish in the vast stillness of the desert.
Alice, that was a shot. If anything happens
Nothing will happen to you. Dogs. And the Nazir, my father's guards, have become too lazy to identify the target.
I will shoot the kill.
And another word of filth from you, and your devil's head will roll in the sand.
Yes, sir. And I'm glad of it. Maybe your brother Nazir is the civilized one.
I warn you to halt, or I would shoot.
You'll be dragged behind a horse from one end of the Sahara to the other for this. I'm the leader. Ahmed Ben Youssef.
Take him, guard.
Oh, there you tiger. I'm the fifth. Ahmed Ben Youssef.
Come on, my brother. Oh, Hassan, you must be more careful with your firearm.
Up here. Do you want me to forget you are my father's son and half-brother?
If you wish, Ahmed. But for your sake, I would pray long and hard to Allah that I don't forget. Hassan, take him away and treat him as the half-brother of the Sheikh of the tribe of Abdul Ben Ali. Until I give orders to the contrary.
Yes, master.
Salam alaik, my brother. What a pity you did not take Khalil's warning and remain in America. He paid with his 2 hands to send that warning to you. And now, mademoiselle, I pray you and Allah will forgive my rudeness. But if you will permit me to escort you to my private quarters, you may refresh and relax yourself and wait in comfort and safety until the authorities arrive from Damascus to see that you are returned safely to your father in America. On behalf of my people and my tribe, I apologize for the uncivilized actions of my half-brother.
You know?
Oh, we are not as isolated from the outside world as you may imagine. You were brought here by my brothers against your will, weren't you?
Why, yes.
I tried to tell my father that Ahmed was not the man to succeed him, simply because he preceded me into this world by a matter of a few weeks. Tradition is only valuable as long as it serves the needs of those who adhere to it.
What will you do with Ahmed?
Oh, after the way he has treated you, do you care?
No. No, I don't.
Good. You're not only a beautiful young woman, but equally wise.
Ahmed's old servant. He raised Ahmed. He sent Ahmed the message about his father.
You have a remarkable memory. Ahmed must have told you much of himself. Perhaps too much.
You said something about his servant Khalil paying with his hand.
Oh, a light punishment for treachery against his sheep.
How long will it be before the officials arrive from Damascus to take me back to my father?
Oh, officials the world over are all alike about the unconcern of time's passing. But no matter. You or anyone else has nothing more to fear from Ahmed. Ahmed, stupid as your actions for the American girl have proved you to be, you still should have no difficulty in realizing I will never relinquish this amulet, symbol of the power of the sheik of our tribe.
You obtained it with the blood of my father.
I ordered Hassan to tell you. I wanted to impress you with the seriousness of my ambition. However, since I am eager to impress our people and the young American girl, but I am not a savage beast of the desert. I shall spare you any further unpleasantness if you wish to leave our country and return to America. Forever.
I am staying here, where I belong.
I still wish to be generous with you, Ahmed. I shall do my very best to change your mind. Hassan, I think you might allow my brother to relax for a while. Well, Ahmed, doesn't the thought of returning to America appeal to you more now?
I'll stay here until the last drop of blood is drained from my body.
Oh, what a nuisance for us both. Thirsty, Ahmed? In this heat you must be. Here's water. The officials will be here tomorrow to take the American girl back to her father. With the aid of my doctors, I could manage to get you in shape to return with her. I'm sure you could persuade her to drop charges against you for kidnapping. With all her intelligence, she still seems to be rather fond of you.
Get out! Get out before I...
You're delirious, Ahmed.
Go away.
Mademoiselle, what are you doing here? How did you get by the guards?
Last night you told me that every man had his price. You were right. I wanted to see Ahmed before I left for America.
You see now why I had to come back. You've seen the treachery of the desert.
Come, mademoiselle, you must not stay in here. This is no place for a woman.
Oh, it doesn't bother me, my dear. I rather suspected this is what I would see.
It is nothing more than what he deserves.
Yes, I suppose you're right.
I'm sorry my guards accepted bribes from my guests at my house. Point them out to me and they shall be returned immediately.
Ahmed will see to that, my dear.
Oh, well, with beauty and intelligence, you have also a magnificent sense of humor. You Americans are a remarkable people.
Yes, we are. It's really amazing how many people insist upon underestimating us.
Yes, like my brother Ahmed, for instance.
Like you, for instance, Maggie.
Be careful, he's treacherous.
Yes, Ahmed, I know. You told me. You even warned me, and you thought I didn't listen, pay any attention. The American quality.
Mademoiselle, kindly explain yourself.
I will when you've handed me the amulet of your tribe and released Ahmed.
Mademoiselle, I must warn you that the fact that you are an American national under my protective custody does not give you the right to violate the laws of my domain, nor does it make you immune for any such violation.
You murdered Ahmed's father and brought your tribe's allegiance with his gold, so you're not immune from similar treachery.
Where did you get that revolver?
I paid a higher price to your trusted headman Hassan for it than you did. Hand me that amulet. What? You took it after you killed your father. Give it to me.
If you think a frail slip of a girl can frighten a great...
Here's the bedroom! What just happened? I heard gunfire.
Yes, Hassan. You'll hear more if you don't hurry and release Ahmed Ben Yosef.
He's not here. What have you done to
Put
him?
him in his place, that's all. Get doctors quickly, Hassan. One for Nazir and one for the Sheikh Ahmed Ben Ali.
Sheikh Ahmed Ben...
Hurry! Americans don't like to kill unless they're forced to.
Yes, mademoiselle.
What have you done? Why?
Here, Ahmed. This is what you came back to Arabia to wear.
The amulet of my tribe. But Professor, I thought you hated me.
So did I. Until I saw and heard what Nazir had done and was doing to you.
You said you were pleased about it. But I deserved it.
American wives are all like that, Ahmed.
American wives?
They cried and screamed and yapped their heads off at their husbands. Bounced rolling pins off their heads at regular intervals. Wished them all the bad luck they can think of when they're mad at them. But let somebody else come along and so much as raise a finger at their man. There's war.
You speak of wives.
Didn't you say that as chief you had the legal power to pronounce me your wife? Another American trait, Thomas. We give the impression that we make light of the more serious things like marriage. But we don't really. Deceitful lot, aren't we? And by the way, Ahmed, will I be known as a seeker?
Teresa got hep that her yen for Ahmed wasn't a mirage. So she let their marriage stick, and they lived happily ever after as Sheik and Sheikah. And I imagine later on they had a couple of little secrets.
How did you get it?
Well, it's the same old story, but it's always good.
Yeah. Especially when you know the connection between that story and Ahmed's making a regular pilgrimage to 7 Front Street.
Hey, see, that's right. I forgot about that. What is the connection?
He, likes my clam chowder. See you later, Terry.
He likes her clam chowder. That Lil is a killer, all right.
Well, did you get the chief story, Mr. King?
Yeah, including the snapper about why he comes down here to 7 Front Street.
You mean Lil really told you?
Well, it's a dark secret, but I can tell you. It's because he likes Lil's clam chowder.
Oh. I thought she'd hold out on you.
So you know the real reason?
Sure. But put the clam chowder ending in your book. It will tend to titillate the interest of your readers. Like I'm titillating you to know why I gotta have $50 to tell you my story. Good night, Mr. King.
Well, you can take Lil's clam chowder ending, or leave it. Anyhow, glad you took the time to be with me tonight. And so until we meet again, it's good night from Kenneth Allen King and 7 Front Street. 7 Front Street is presented under the supervision of Don Becker and is directed by Emmett Paul. Tonight's cast of characters included Peter Capell,
Connie Lemke, Lawson Zerbe, Gene Tatum, Barbara Bell Wright, Mort Lawrence, Jim Bowles, and Lester Fletcher. This is the last broadcast in the current series of 7 Front Street. In its place, the Mutual Broadcasting System will present High Adventure, a dramatic program of action and adventure aimed to please the entire family. Be sure and tune in at the same time next week over most of these same stations for High Adventure. This program came to you from New York. This is Ralph Paul speaking, and this is the Mutual Broadcasting System.